No music today.
Dun 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 dun. All right, it's all good.
That was pretty good. Hey, hi everybody. I'm Hialeah Comic Bro, and this is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
What is up, everybody? What is going on?
Johnson Show. What's up, and welcome everyone. Steve, what a Sunday yesterday.
Jesus, man. Stars left and right. Knee injuries, ankle injuries, going on the IR. You think it's because of the no preseason?
You think so? I don't know.
I'm saying maybe they needed a couple games, maybe two, just to accolade themselves to these quick twitch movements and stuff. I don't know. But ankles and knees get buckled and hit anyway. But
anyway, man, did you see Saquon Barkley? He went out because it looked like he hurt his elbow or his shoulder. He came back a play later, and then he blew out his right knee. It's like, dude.
Man. I was watching the game when McCaffrey got his ankle hurt. Bro. I think his own player did it to him. He dove in the end zone, and I think someone just rolled on his ankle.
Well, that's what
he was already in the end zone, scored and everything.
That's what happened with Michael Thomas. It was his own player rolled up on him.
Yeah. But
I think that's the big story with yesterday, man. And then, of course, that Dallas game.
What up, man? How can you let the ball just sit there and spin and not die? But you're right there. I think, Hialeah, they thought it was never going to make the line.
That's what they were thinking.
Don't worry about touching it. But the way he kicked it, it just got a little momentum. Looked like a marble or something.
It was like a bunt, right? And you're looking.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like you hit on the end of the bat and it had to spin, and then it went out, but it came back in.
Yeah, dude, that hurt, man. How pathetic is Atlanta, though, man?
Man, that coaches, man, he might be done, guys.
That happened in the Super Bowl, and now again, that's the first time it's happened in like 400. I saw the stat.
I think they had 39 points, Raul, with no turnovers.
Turnovers.
It might not never be broke.
Nobody's ever lost that with those two. With 39 points and no turnover, no team has ever lost. They're 440-1. Now with Atlanta.
That might be one of those ones that stays a long time.
Well, think about it. 440, that's not a lot of games. When you think about it, going back to 1933, that's not a lot. It hasn't happened a lot.
Yeah, because there was only 12 games early on. There was only 12 games a season for a while.
But I mean, that hasn't happened too much.
Yeah.
and the one time that you lose, it's you.
It's you. And then you lost in the Super Bowl, the same type deal.
Oh. Dude, it's crazy, man. How are you feeling about your Bucks?
They're still feeling each other out. Got some. They're not firing on all cylinders yet, but you get a win, you get good. No one injured. Godwin didn't play. I don't know what's wrong with him, but
he's got a concussion.
Okay, so he'll be cleared for next week.
Who do they play next week?
Damn, I don't know who they play next week.
I don't know either.
I don't know. I have to drum up the schedule. But
what were you gonna say?
Did you see the Seahawks in the Patriots game?
Yeah.
Wow, man, that was crazy.
Does he last the season?
Man, I don't know. He's a big guy. He's big, but man, he flipped. They flipped him at the goal line.
Dude, if he keeps doing that, he's not going to make it. He didn't make it last year. He's not going to. He's odds are against him, dude.
But I'll tell you what, he threw the ball well.
Really good.
You know what I mean?
Excellent.
If they can get the running going without him doing the running, with Michelle or one of the other running backs, Burkett, and let him run here and there with bootlegs.
Yeah, but
don't make it your main play.
Yeah.
It's a sneak play to get you a cheap first down or, out on the corner to throw. Yeah. But he's got a good arm, and he was throwing well.
Hey, but
Russell Wilson, man. Jeez, man.
Oh, he's good, bro.
5 long balls to 5 different receivers for touchdowns. Hey, of course he's against me in fantasy, right? I'm playing – this is the week I'm playing him, so –
I played him last week, man. How did you do it?
I'm
You're
hoping to
winning.
hold on.
Your game gets decided tonight, right?
Yeah. He's got one on each team. He's got your tight end, and he's got Kamara.
Dude, I'm in 4 leagues. Last week I went 3-1, right? And this week I went 1-3. And the one team that won this week, which is my main team, is the one that lost last week. So all my teams are 1-1.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's funny. Everything has these flows, man, in the world. So
hey, but all these injuries is gonna change up stuff, man. Can you imagine that? I have McCaffrey in my league, but thank God I got my first 3 picks were running backs. So
I don't have that great of running backs. That's what's hurting me.
And you lost Michael Thomas.
Yeah, and I lost Michael Thomas and Evans was hurt last week.
Oh, he had a good game yesterday.
He had a good game yesterday. Yeah, he looked good yesterday. So there was a lot of people tired, man. Did you happen to see any of the Chargers game with the Jets?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Did you see Boza?
Oh.
He's on the ground.
Did you
so tired.
At the end of the game?
Yeah. He couldn't stand on the sideline.
Dude, give me a break, bro.
Come on, man. And his brother skipped out the last year at Ohio State so he wouldn't get injured. And guess what? There goes his knee.
It still could. But you know what? It could always happen. Maybe.
But I know what he's saying. I got my money though. That's what he's saying. So.
And he was the rookie. He was the defensive rookie of the year. So he was good, man. It was just a freak thing. There was like 3. I think the Niners lost 4 people in that game. They lost.
Yeah, they lost the running back Mozart. I know they lost him. They lost a defensive back too that was good.
They lost Solomon and they lost Garoppolo.
Yeah, Garoppolo. Yeah, so
they lost 4, bro.
Dude, I got them on as my defense too. And look, Boza goes out.
Yeah, well, they played the Jets this week, so you might still be okay.
No, I think isn't that who they played this week? The Jets.
No, they played the Giants. You're right. They played the Jets. Next week, they play the Giants.
Yeah, without Barkley, maybe it'll be still a good point.
Barkley, and they lost somebody else. They lost one of the Sterling Shepard.
Anybody in the chat?
We got 3 so far. Guys, we're talking football, but this is not going to be a football game show. We actually have a guest today, and that guest is an artist, a local artist to Steve, someone he knows that actually he's done a commission for Steve.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. Y'all are going to love him.
And we're going to bring him in. He's ready. He's backstage. That was our little football talk, we kept it short because we have a guest. If not, we would probably go on the whole night. But what's up, Unruly? We got Ruben. Ruben was always first. Cowabunga. We got Unruly. Thank you, guys. So we're going to bring in our guest, and that guest is Joel Doyle. Joel, what's going on?
What's going on, man? Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you for coming on.
You got it. How y'all doing?
Good, man.
Doing good, man.
Some people might not want to come on with us.
Yeah. I don't know. They don't know shit.
So, Joe, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Well, I started this about a year ago, actually, in October. So it's pretty much it's been about a year now. So just started off just sketching comic related stuff, and before you know it, people are hitting me up for commissions. And went to my comic book store. They told me I should get CGC certified as an artist, actually get stuff slabbed and graded. So I did that, and before you know it, I'm here just doing full-time commissions. So career path kind of took a change for the most unexpected thing, but I tell you what, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Steve's got a whole list of questions.
Yeah, I got some questions, but I'm going to start off with one item on there. Joe, how hard is it to get into being like a cover artist? How difficult is it? What is the keys?
Well, so I haven't done any cover art. I have been actually, someone has came up to me asking if I'm interested in doing an actual exclusive cover art for a particular store. So that's actually in the works right now. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
That would be really sweet. But as a cover artist, I mean, I guess all it really is just a commission. Like a Comic Spot, for example, if they wanted a cover, they just come to me and say, hey, I want a cover. I think this will sell. Let's do it. And then I think they got to get permission from Marvel. At least I know from Marvel, you got to get permission. And if they say yes, then that's pretty much all it takes.
That's pretty good because, you know, they've done Venom 18 with, what was it, Kirkman did Venom 18.
Yeah, they got a couple. They got a couple. And I've been talking to Mike over there at the shop, and they've been, yeah, I mean, I'm planning to go on some Comic-Cons with them in the future. So, you know, it gives me some exposure to some people. So we'll see.
How do you become CGC certified artist? How does that work?
So everyone thinks it's this massive hoops, and, you know, whatever to get it. But on all honesty, it's literally contacting them. It's a little bit of work with emails and talking to the right people, and but aside from just filling out paperwork, talking to some people, I mean, that's literally all it takes.
You didn't have to. You didn't have to go to their site or anything.
No, I mean, I went to their site. I talked to I think 2 or 3 people, signed some paperwork, and then basically that's all it took.
Because you're right next. You guys are right next to CGC, right? How far is Sarasota?
It's not far, man. It's probably less than an hour.
Hour and a half, right?
About an hour probably in there, unless it's on the other side of Bradenton. I'm not sure.
I think it's right off the interstate.
Yeah, so I don't think it's too far, right? You know, hour and a half tops. So
yeah, it's like a fortress, right? It's like a fortress.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty big. I can't wait to go one day.
I don't know if they do tours, man, but that'll be cool to go. I know one of my shops goes there, and he goes, dude, they don't even let you go in it. You just go into a room, drop off your books, and basically you're out. You need an appointment. It's like
they used to do tours. Yeah, it's like that now, but they used to do tours for the people who were facilitating stuff, from what I hear. So if things go back to somewhat normal, I mean, we'll see. But
that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve.
For sure, man. Yeah. So the Comic Spot did. I know they did Venom 18. What other one did they do?
They've done 18. They did.
Were they both
Teenage
Venom?
Mutant Ninja Turtles for Jenica.
Okay, that's the other one that they've got. Okay, I saw that.
Yeah, that's the. It's the. What is it? Amazing Spider-Man 50 homage.
Yeah.
It's that one, and then I think that's it. Maybe. Not.
Where's the Comic Spot at?
It's not. It's down in Riverview. It's down towards where I work.
You haven't taken me there, right? I haven't
taken you there yet, but I will when next time y'all come. We'll go that way. Go down south maybe and meet up with some people down there. It's a big remote.
It's a good little spot.
Yeah. Joe. So when did you actually start drawing? Like when you were young, did you know you had a talent, or you liked it, or you know? When did you really figure that out?
From a little kid, for kindergarten, our teachers used to give us, the rolls of receipt tape.
Yeah.
When you reload them, they used to give us that, like, for drawing. It was cheap paper, I guess is how they figured it. And they'd give us these rolls, and I'd do this whole, like if you got like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles regular Nintendo game, and you basically stretch out the whole level.
Yeah.
I would do that with like army men and battleships, and just draw like this massive, like.
Did your teacher say, Joe, you got some talent?
I was always in the art classes, always in, I wouldn't say the best, but definitely in the top 3 for sure. Danny, this guy named Danny, was always on top, always. He had the edge. He definitely had the edge. And so we would always just compete. But yeah, it was all the way, even through college, all my electives were art class. And then I decided to do graphic design, because why not put art and computers together?
Awesome.
So,
what about your love?
Whole life.
For comics? How about your love for comics?
Love for comics. I actually started with comics, collecting the cards, the Fleer Ultra cards.
Yeah, they were fancy little suckers.
Oh yeah. Back in '93, when Maximum Carnage started coming out, those were the cards I started collecting. Was Carnage and Venom and Spider-Man cards. Those are the only 3, and I got into the cards pretty heavy, and I still have all of them, luckily. And from there, I was like, well, if the cards are cool, the comics must be cool, right?
Right.
So went to the comics, and Maximum Carnage was my first introduction to actual comic books. So you can already guess I'm super hyped about Venom 2 coming out.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, so that from there, it just kind of I stuck with comics for like about a year or two, and then I guess in my mind I figured I'd grow up, I guess, and I started doing high school things, but I always kept my comics in a box. It was just a normal box, nothing fancy, and everywhere I moved in college, I always took them with me because they were cool. I had them in great condition. I was like, you know what? They're cool. It's cool look at whenever, I get bored or whatnot. Get drunk from the club one night, just pull them out and look at them, and then all of a sudden, just decided to kind of slowly get back into it because I don't know, it was always there. I just could never let it go. So now I'm just so thankful and happy that, I'm able to do something with it.
That's cool, man.
It seems like Venom and Carnage and all of them have made a big influence in you because I was looking at your Instagram page.
Oh yeah,
your art and stuff, and it's a big influence, bro.
It's huge, and it's funny because I started off my first piece that I ever did, like comic wise, was.
Dude, that's
hey man, if I drew that, Joe, if I did that, I would declare myself the greatest artist to ever live. I think that I'd say I'm the best. Look at me.
I'll let you trace it. How's that?
Hey, I don't even think I can trace it good. That's how bad I am.
So I did that one, and my wife's like, "Oh wow," because I always told her like, I can draw, and she's like, I'm a very traditional artist when it comes to painting and oil paints and stuff like that. I never really got into the pen and marker game. It's just too linear for me.
Right.
If that makes sense. It's easy to blend a bunch of colors and whatnot together when you don't really know what the hell's actually going on.
So did you take classes to get better at shading?
I did. So I had an idea, but it's just when you're creating something from nothing, you got the idea here, right? But it's when you're actually putting it onto the paper where you now have a definitive right in front of you. So it's kind of hard to say, no, that's not what I'm thinking. How do I translate this to what's on the paper? So there's a lot of push and pull of like, oh, that's too thin, that's too thick, like that's too tall, too short.
Yeah, I would be proportionate. I'd be like, his arms is too big or something.
It's nonstop. So it's just one of those things where the more you do it, I can literally sketch something out super simple and say, that's going to look good, that's not going to look good. And I could easily see it just by doing a quick sketch. Now, when you add the details like shadows and highlights and, all that stuff, that's where it gets even more complicated. That's where you I did photography for a big portion of college and whatnot. And then a lot of my jobs, I was an art director for a company here local in Florida. So I dealt with a lot of product photography. So I know how objects move with light. So I'll tell you one thing, seeing a product in art directing a product, which I know sounds dumb, just putting a shoe on a flat surface and photographing it, but you start moving it, you see big changes with lighting. So so before you know it, you start seeing, okay, if you turn it this way, it's going, you can see it in my hands, just the way the light completely changes everything. So once you understand the way light works, adding shadows and highlights makes it's just night and day. It may not be perfect, but you get the idea.
What school did you go to and where?
So I was born in Gainesville. I went to Santa Fe Community College.
Yeah, I know where Santa Fe's at up there. Yeah.
Right off the interstate. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I went there for a graphic design school, and I got my major there in graphic design. And then the first 4 years, I guess, even though it's a 2-year school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was like, I'll just keep racking up degrees. So I did. I got an AA, I got an AS, and I got a minor. So I was like, whatever. It's cheaper than going to university. So I was like, this will help me get into university at some point.
Awesome.
But yeah, I always took art. Art was always my de-stressor from school.
Yeah, when you get a little older, I've got experience in that category. You'll look back at those comics and you'll look at them different. You'll be like, man, I remember when I was this young and when I went and got this. It'll be like that. Keep the ones you got, whether they're valuable or not.
It don't matter.
Always say I bought this, man. I remember going, because I know Hialeah's got one of his favorite comics. He got it slabbed. One of the first ones he remembers buying, and I got my Conans. I actually won gambling.
Nice. Yeah, no, I got a Maximum Carnage. It's I think it's number 10. It's got Venom, Carnage, and Spider-Man. Got the whole Trinity on the front cover, and I met Alex Savak up in Orlando in January. So I met him, and I was like, listen, this is what got me in the comics. You got to sign it. So he signed it, and I got it signed. Came back at 9.8. So all the way to 93, not even knowing how to keep books. Like I said, I had it in a box, and it wasn't even like a fitted box. These things like shook around. Came back perfect. So I was awesome. More than excited to get that.
Who are your favorite artists? You can do this different. You can say my favorite modern, or you can say my favorite all time. It doesn't matter. However you want to do.
So I have a couple favorites for different reasons. Like I was telling you before, I'm really big in the traditional art, the oil paints, that type of thing. Del Otto is definitely.
Man, that Del Otto variant, man, where it was upside down, it goes for like $2,000 now. I was trying so hard to get that.
You can't compare. Like and it's so funny because with traditional art, there's not a lot of leg room to put detail in. And it's funny because a lot of people look at these art, and I can't tell you how many people I've spoken to about this, and they're like, I've never noticed it. And it's not being hypercritical. It's actually examining, because I look at these art, and I started collecting all these variants and whatnot from various artists, just because when I'm drawing, like, for example, a Venom piece, I'll pull out like 15 Venom pieces here on my wraparound desk, and I'll sit here and I'll say, okay, I like the teeth on this Venom. I like the spider on the emblem on his chest on this one. So I kind of Frankenstein my pieces together. So I use a whole bunch of different, ideas. Like Rivera. I love Rivera's mouth on Venom. It's more human, than the monster.
Right.
But I like to draw them all. So it's like, what mood am I in to draw what? So it really varies. But I would say Del Otto when it comes to the more traditional stuff. Modern. He does still do painting, but Clayton Crane, you can't. That's another.
That dude's badass, man. Clayton.
He is. He does a lot of digital, but he also does. He started off doing the traditional stuff. So I could see he actually has a YouTube channel, which I didn't know. Found this out a couple months ago. He actually does drawing on Photoshop. Digitally, and he kind of talks about it, and then his next video he's doing one in acrylics of the Joker. So I kind of study all that stuff, and you
get little different techniques here and there from these guys.
Yeah,
that's
no,
cool.
for sure, and it's you say technique, and it's like how you add the shadow. Mm-hmm. I've learned that in school, but it's how you actually use it is a whole different story, because how you imagine is just drawing,
So are you looking to make yourself like a certain style, like Peach Momoko, where she's got that crazy looking stuff?
That's a whole different beast, man. That's a whole different beast right there.
I'm Peach Momoko now, dude. I'm sorry.
Don't get me wrong. Like, she's got fantastic, she does stuff that it's just so different. Like, you can't compare Del Otto and Peach Momoko. It's one of those. What's up, Tyler? You can't compare the two. It's impossible. They're both great artists, just different styles. So Delgado Crane, the older guys, honestly, I haven't gotten there yet.
Mhm.
I do like Neil Adams. He's a good guy. His Batmans are fantastic.
Fantastic.
Met him a couple times. Very nice guy. He's an interesting guy. If you've ever met him,
He did a signing at the comic spot.
yeah, he did. And this was before I actually moved here. And which
Yeah,
sucks,
so he did a signing.
I missed
That's
it.
where I met Perry. I met
Oh,
Perry
nice,
there,
nice.
and he actually signed an X-Men. I had X-Men for one of the
Oh, no
guys
way.
across the country I gave it to, and he signed it for free. You believe that?
Oh, wow.
Free.
He's-
Stop.
Did you have a conversation with him?
Yeah, I talked to him for a minute, and he was super nice, man. And
I heard if you're real with him, he's you don't put him on this.
I got a
massive
picture with him.
pedestal.
Next time I see you, I got a picture. I'll show you.
Oh yeah, no,
I got my arm
definitely.
around him, took a picture like this, and kept it on my photo roll. So,
Hey,
Oh, nice.
hey,
Nice.
you were talking about earlier is when you're drawing and getting what's in your head and doing it on paper. I used to draw. I used to be like in all these gifted classes when I was young, right?
Uh-huh.
It just got to the point where it was so frustrating because I would envision the picture in your head and all that, but I wasn't good enough to put it down the way I wanted to. I could never get the balance right, and I was never satisfied. It got to the point where I just stopped, and I haven't drawn in forever. Do you do that?
That's tough. I mean, even today, it's like it's one of those things. You got the idea in your head, and when I'm doing these commissions for people, it's really tough to be 110% in my head. Like, I got this, but you got to tell the client you got this, because at the end of the day, you have to get it. Like, people are paying you money to do a commission, even if you've never done the character. And it basically boils down to monster, robot, male or female. And the body type, you just either shrink it, you make them tall, like you just kind of manipulate it. But if you can do one, you could pretty much, I could do Venom. Never done a Hulk, like a full figure Hulk.
That was one of my questions.
What
is your favorite thing to draw? I figured that's Venom. And what is your least favorite? You're like, man, I really don't like it.
I like the way his eyes just opened up.
Yeah,
You might have more than one.
That's a tough one. Well, a lot of people come to me commissions for Venom. That's the number one commission that I get from people.
Is that what you're known for?
So far, that's what I'm known for. I mean, I haven't done anything that people are like, that's what you need to be doing more so than Venom. So
the Punisher you did for me was awesome. So that's definitely you've got more talent to go elsewhere if you want.
And I've been trying to branch out. I did a Sinister Six series. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Leah loves the Sinister Six.
Well, I did my own Sinister Six team, because I figured it, just because I was looking at the teams and I'm like, okay, I have all these amazing Spider-Man blanks. Everyone's asking for Venom, and I have literally a short box of blanks, and half of them is Venom because I got a good deal on some on eBay. So I was like, might as well load up before they become obsolete or harder to get. But yeah, no, I've been slowly branching out. I was just going there, man. I was just going there.
I haven't seen him, Tyler, so yeah, I would like to see one. Oh man.
Good.
Holy Jesus, look at that.
Very nice.
Dude, that's straight fire.
So I've been experimenting with vehicles lately. I did a commission for Tyler of Venom and Knoll, and I had Venom. It's a homage to Action Comics. I think it was the one where Superman's throwing the car.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like that, except it was Venom throwing a tank at Knoll on the ground up against the rock.
Oh shit.
So I did that one, and once I did the tank, Tyler, he's my buddy. He's like, you got to do more vehicles. I'm actually going to do a commission for him of what is it? It's like 4 different vehicles, like the Spider Buggy, the Batmobile, like kind of all racing, Fast and the Furious.
Oh yeah, man, that would be nice.
Like kind of staggered. So that's coming down the pipeline here pretty soon.
Hey, real quick. Hey, Unruly. Of course, Steve being Steve, that was an A-OK to Genome Presents. So he can't show it.
Yeah, I sent it to yeah, Gino's got it.
Gino's got it. Of
Yeah,
course.
David's got it.
Of course.
It's probably on my I got it. I'll send a pic. Tell Ruli I'll send him a picture after this. I got it.
It's on my page.
It's on his,
Yeah, it's on
right there. Yeah, Doyle Comic Art.
Hey, we gotta Joe, let them know about the print you're giving away and all that. These people are in the chat before they go rolling out messing around.
Oh yeah, man. We're gonna be
prints.
Let's get it rolling. So I got 4 prints, 11 by 17s. We're going to do it's up to Raul and Steve how they're going to do it. So I got print number 1, my first comics.
I love this one. This one's fire, man.
Venomized. The camera's all backwards, so you got to bear with me.
No, we see it. We see it perfect.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Venomized Deadpool.
Nice. Oh, badass, dude.
Black and white. You want to talk about lines for days? Print.
And that's another one I really like, man.
Shit.
I love the Venomized stuff, man. So me and Joe will always get along well.
So that's what we're giving away here tonight, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a little giveaway for that. Probably in a little while. We still got some time. Hey, Big Remo, I think he's got a commission idea.
Oh man, yeah, the Speed Racer is fire. Hold on.
Is that all you, Steve?
Yeah, Steve's a big Speed Racer, Racer X.
Racer X. I like both of them, but this is the Speed Racer's car.
All right.
The Mach 5.
It's the Mach 5.
I can mess with that.
Yeah, dude, that is so badass.
Little do you know, Joe, back in here is a little chimp named Chim Chim. It's in there every time.
And
With his little brother. And Speed Racer never figures it out the whole series.
And Trixie's back there too. Dude, that's awesome, bro. So how long have you been doing commissions?
Commissions October.
So it's only a year?
Last year, so 1 year.
How did that
just about 1 year.
How did that come about? How did you started art to doing commissions?
Well, so it's funny. Like I literally started a page of just. Oh, thanks, Zach. Appreciate it. I literally started a page, Doyle Comic Art, because I figured I'm starting to get back in the comic books. You know, I'm starting to draw here and there. I just throw some of my art out there and I was doing it for fun. Like I had a job actually, no, I didn't have the job. I was let go. I was let go for a small little agency, and they didn't need me anymore. So I was like, that's fine. They lost the client and whatnot. But I started working from home. I started my own business here from home, doing brand consulting in the local area. And so I got a couple clients doing that, and on my free time, I was just drawing. So I was like, all right, well, I'll start putting some art on my my Instagram, my Instagram page. And I started realizing a lot of people started liking it. And I got one person, Jeff. He was my first commission. We did what is it? It was an Uncanny X-Men. It was a Wolverine where his hands are kind of downwards. It's kind of purple and green background. I forget what cover. It's on my page. It's on one of my first.
I probably know it, man. I probably know it.
You do. It's an iconic cover. He told me he wanted that, but a Venom. So I was like, I can do it. Why not? So I did it, and then in the process of it, he's like, "Are you CGC certified?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." Happened to be just coincidence. A week or two later, I had gone to my comic book shop, and that's when one of my buddies that were working there, he's like, "You need to be, certified, so your work can actually be put in slabs." I did all that. I talked to Jeff, and I was like, "Hey, listen, give me an extra month, and I'll get it slabbed for you, and we can do this real deal if you want." And he's like, "All right." So we did that, and I put that one slab up, and it just it started all from there. So I've done now, I think, 36 commissions since October, and I just been posting away, just doing work. So
how long do you go from like the beginning, getting the commission, the idea to the actual finished product?
So I've noticed a lot of things, and I understand how this all works. Because the more the more you get a job, you start working for a Marvel, or you're just a commission artist or an exclusive artist, whatever. You don't have a lot of time to work with with clients and whatnot for commissions because you got other stuff to work on. Totally understandable, but I'm not in that situation right now. So I pride myself on talking to clients and talking to, like, when I was talking to you, Steve, I was trying to pick your brain, like, hey, what do you want for this commission?
Yeah,
like, and you were like, just make it cool. I don't care, just make it the way City Limits, what you did for him. Like,
yeah, because City Limits, did you see
cool.
his highlight? It was him with a similar pose, but it was just awesome, man. It had his beard.
Is that how you guys came in contact?
Yeah, well, because the City Limits, he said, check out Joe. So I went from City Limits right to Joe's page. Then I just got Joe. I don't know. I got a hold of Joe. I just started texting.
Yeah, you just messaged me like, hey,
I just messaged him and say, hey, man, I want to do a commission, man. So
because I have the time, I'm able to sit down with clients, and I just actually finished one. It's one of my recent ones. You guys probably saw it. The black background is the Venom 25 commission of Venom with the rain.
Right.
Yeah.
So that we took about a good, I don't know, just talking back and forth, probably a week and a half, just talking about ideas, just kind of, just shooting shit. Just, okay, what are you looking for? What do you want? What do you, just throwing ideas around what I feel like is something I could really execute really well and what would look good on a cover. Because, some people just want crazy everything under the sun. And I'm just like, that would look awesome, but it's going to take away so much from the detail that I can do, because I like doing highly detailed stuff. So, talking to people what to get their best bang for their buck, I guess you could say, what works. So usually from beginning to end, without slabbing, because CGC, that's a whole different.
It's a whole different game. Yeah,
that's not even in my my category with timing. But I would say probably about a week after that conversation, about a solid week. But
it didn't take him long at all. He had to go on vacation with me, but I told him I was in no rush. So but it was really only about a week.
In some of my commissions,
not even that long, probably.
Some of my commissions I could literally do. So for the one that I did for you, Steve, I would say if I added all the time together, it probably took me about 2 hours to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 hours to do. I've been trying to time my pieces just to crank them out, In
case you go.
In case I get to that point,
I know I can do this.
I can do this at lunchtime.
Man, that's awesome.
So yes, I've been working on some of those. I'll show you actually some of those. I got a couple.
Hey, real quick, what does your wife say about it now? Since it's all started.
After she didn't know you.
Yeah, she didn't know you grew and all that.
So she knew I can draw. That's never been, she knows I do photography. She knows I could paint, draw, scribble, whatever. She knows I got that down. But when I did this piece, and she started seeing the detail in the
that's beautiful.
That is fire, man.
Like the buildings, like oh yeah,
that's the Chrysler building right there, ain't it? Yeah,
dude, right. So, but if you look at it, it looks like it's like a fisheye lens.
Yes, exactly.
So when she noticed that, she was like, "Wow, you actually have talent." Like, thanks. So she's like, "Just keep going with it. You never know what's going to happen." So I was like, "All right." And I was in a position where I was able to explore and just kind of figure out. Like I said, I just started my business, just kind of reinventing myself and trying to really figure out where I want my career and my future. Like I said, I've worked for corporate for the last 12 years, and it was fun. I'll never go back and say it sucked at all, because the experience that I got from it is priceless. And I learned a lot. And even to this day, like I was telling you about the shadows and whatnot, even though I don't do photography much anymore, it still translates to my art. So at the end of the day, the layout, design, it's all part of graphic design as well. So it works out to my benefit that I had all that experience. So she said just keep going. She loves it. So
that's awesome, bro. It keeps you home too, right? It keeps you home.
Well, we're both working from home.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's all right, but you need a little space.
You need some space sometimes.
Well, as you can see, I got my room in here. This is my den. I come here at night. During the day, this is where I work. This is mine. Down the hallway, directly across is her, and we both got doors. So if I'm like, hey, I'm cranking, I'm getting some work done, shut the door, and we're respectful with each other, so it works out. It works really well.
And now you're getting interviewed by two old Johnsons too. It's like I never thought that was going to come about.
Yeah, right? After we get done, I'll probably contact Rod and have Rod get in touch with Joe and get him, because he's got a lot of viewers, and he's usually on the weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
He would love to have somebody like you on.
What's the show that he got on, the shout out show on Sunday?
The shout out show on Sunday. It's on Sundays.
Okay.
Shout out show. And what he does is people with the under 100 subscribers, just low number of subscribers, he tries to get them subs and get them, he's doing, so he'll go take you to the next.
You get a lot of exposure there, man. He's got a lot of people that show up for that.
Yeah, a lot of people show up, so you'll have
I was on his first ever episode of that, so that's a little.
Well, I'm on number 2.
Yeah, but you got to go on that show. You got to get in touch with the.
I'll call Rod this week.
Hey, look, I guess she loves it.
Oh, she loves it. Yes, she does. Thanks, babe.
I figured she was watching.
Oh yeah, I told her. I said, "You gotta watch it. You gotta watch." She's like, "Well, you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, why not? Why not?" So when I do my commissions, I usually have 2 tiers of work. What Steve he got tier 1, which is basically I try to keep it under 2 hours.
Okay.
Just, like I said, I'm trying to get the time thing going, because with some of these, I could literally spend hours upon hours just adding a single line here and there, and just money's time at the end of the day. So I gotta figure something out. So with something like that, that quality is about a 2 hour job, and so all these actually I did in an hour and a half. Just
I saw that one today.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that I really like that.
I mean, I'm literally just throwing lines up there, and just here's another one I did. I think this one was a little.
Dude, he looks crazy.
He looks crazy.
He looks nuts, dude.
If you look at all those little lines on there, so you can't. I don't even know if you guys can see all that.
Yeah, dude, you can see the work, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's freaking fire.
Dude,
so what tier would that be, Joe? Would that be tier 2?
This is all the same. This is all the same tier.
Dude, that is bad.
Those are so it's crazy, man. I there's no way you shouldn't at least be drawing covers here and there for somebody.
This one was not so much that first tier.
Dude, badass.
But yeah, it's one of my favorite covers, Web of Spider-Man. I figured I'll go ahead and do an homage to. This one was actually one second or third piece I ever did.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
I need to get this one slabbed, though. This one will definitely be getting slabbed at some point.
Yeah, that one you need a slab, dude. That is beautiful.
So I would say those are like my first tier. Now, here, I got some slabs here that I'll show.
Awesome.
So this one is slabbed, but this one, again, is the first tier that I got.
Damn, nation. That shit's got it. Oh, you're killing me. I can't even be watching this show. I'm going to go off my own show. I feel my pocket moving.
Now, this one is my second tier right here.
Oh, that is badass. That goes kind of like what you're saying about the lighting, huh?
Oh, yeah, man. It's so hard because it's here. Let me move this. You can't even tell. If you look on my Instagram page, I got the lighting on point, so you can see everything that I got going on.
No, it looks beautiful, dude.
Damn.
But the reason why these are more second tier is because the background, I actually lay what do you call it? Not saran wrap. It's the stuff you put on top of Tupperware where the press and seal.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I use the press and seal for those books, and then I get an X-Acto blade and I cut the whole freaking figure out, and then I spray paint the whole background. So I either spray.
So that didn't come as a black cover. You didn't get a black Carnage cover because those are expensive, man.
Yeah,
colored covers are expensive sometimes.
Yeah, so I cut all that out.
Damn!
And I realized the O and the R have Carnage eyes in it when I was cutting it all out.
Man,
wow. That thing is badass. This is another one I did. That's
what the fuck?
Oh my god, man! Damn.
Wow. Yeah, this is one of my. This one I won't let go. This one is definitely.
I know you wouldn't get rid of that. I already freaking knew it. When I first looked, I said, "Oh, that one's too good."
Hey, Zach, he's asking if those are for sale.
Are these for sale? Not yet. I am in the process of making a website. This is another one here. I messed up. This was not a 9. It was a 9.2.
How did you mess it up, dude?
Because I was meeting Stegman when I met Alex up in January in Orlando, and I wanted to get him to sign a few things. So I got him to sign Venom 1, the Virgin cover, with the iconic one with the lightning behind him and whatnot. And I wanted to sign a couple other things. And I was like, this just isn't good enough. I'm like, what am I going to do? This is literally at 10 o'clock at night. Okay. I live in Tampa. It's a 2-hour drive, and I got to go to freaking Orlando to go meet this guy. So at this like little mini con at this hotel. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, what can I get to sign that I'm not going to give away that's going to be mine forever? And I just couldn't figure it out. I have a bunch of Stegman books too. And I figured, you know what? Shit, I draw my own stuff. I might as well have him get on the label with me, because I could get on the label because I'm CG.
Yeah,
that's badass. That was smartest move you made, man.
So I went
a collaboration.
So I went ahead and I copied Scan, I believe, is the one who did
the Scan one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's number 5 is what he did, and I figured, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and go in there and just get a pen and just go to town on it. So I took my time on this. Little did I know, my Steve Comic Spot was actually up there. They were part of the people that were hosting the con.
Yeah, Mike goes to a lot of that stuff, man. He goes all over.
Yeah, well, his buddy was actually hosting it, and then Comic Spot was actually there to help out. So I went ahead and I got it signed, and I figured I'd have Stegman colored in right here. I did all black and white. I told him, I was like, I need color here. I need your signature here. Because he actually co-created Null, so I figured why not have his signature?
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Stegosaurus, Put my signature here, and then after that, I gave it to a Comic Spot to send it to CGC, and they told me, well, we're meeting up with Donnie Cates here in like a month. You want us to just hold it, and we can get Donnie Cates on the slab too? And I'm like, well, might as well. Yeah. So I got Donnie Cates to sign this bad boy too. So the 3 of us, on this cover was, I don't know, it means a lot to me. So
yeah, that's awesome, man.
But what is it, bro? Just take off that 9.8 sticker off of that shit, dude, and just leave it at 9.2.
No, I can't.
It don't matter, bro. It doesn't matter.
You know why? Because it's personal. It really doesn't matter, man.
Dude. It ain't going nowhere. That's yours, bro.
Yeah. I keep it on there because this was the first piece that I got back after I said it on live on live YouTube one time. I was like, so far I've only got 9.8. This is the first one that came back after that show as a 9.2. And the lowest I've ever got after that was a 9.6. So because of that statement, that's the reason why I put that on there. To remind myself, don't get cocky.
Yeah, don't get cocky, bro. But the thing is, you got to take it off, man. That way you really won't get cocky. You got to stay humble, man.
I buy a lot of blanks for stuff, man. And some
it's a different font. I know it's fake.
Dude, that shit ain't going nowhere, man. Who cares, dude? That's awesome. That's an awesome story.
It makes me laugh every time I see it, though. I'll tell you what. Every time.
That's a
You
hell
never
of a
know
piece.
the CGC, bro. So that's the only book that hasn't come back 9.8 to this day.
No, I've had 196. Those Absolute Carnage books are hard because they're so fat that the one. Okay, so what you guys typically get is the normal covers,
Right.
Yeah, those
And-
I know those Carnage are thick.
and that's already a fat book, and those are hard to get without it ripping or whatnot. Now imagine having that, and then including cardstock cover on top of that, because the
Yeah, because
original
aren't the
cover,
Absolute Carnage ones? They were super thick. Them, the newest. Oh, man, they were thick.
yeah, but you get the blank one, the
And it's
original
on top
cover
of that, huh?
on top of it, because the original cover is still on that book.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
and it's the same freaking staple. If you go into the middle of that book and you look at it, I mean, we're talking, there's like barely anything holding that book together. So that corner is not as it's almost the square. So those are hard to get back as a 9.8. I've gotten one a 9.8, but aside from that, the other one I got was a 9.6. This is the 9.2. Yeah, I think that's it when it comes to those. I mean, I take care of my books when I'm drawing on them. I make sure I take on the corners. I put them on my desk and I tape it all down. I take very good care of them.
That was my next question, man. While you're working on a book, you got that on the back of your mind. Don't mess up the book, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the back cover, you got to be careful of, man.
Well, and that's why I tape it down. I tape it down, and I have a whole box of backing boards, brand new ones, and every time I do a new commission, I put a backing board in between the book, behind the cover, behind the actual book itself, and I tape all those together, and then there's no room for error. And since they stick out more than the actual book, I ain't got to worry about the corners getting messed up. So
That would be
my wife knows too. Don't
be
be
nerve-wracking.
drawing, because all I need is for that book to slide off my table, and half the book is completely destroyed. So it's when I'm in the zone, I keep my book there, and I keep it. I take care of them. I take pride in my stuff. So
No, I would think that would be the thing that would be most nerve-wracking to me, man. It's just not messing up, because you're trying not to mess up the art, but you also
But
don't
you
want
want to get that book position
You don't
where
want
you
to
can
bend
draw
the
like
book.
you want.
One little slip, you just rest your hand the wrong way or some shit, and you mess everything up.
so slipping. So you got these gloves.
Yeah, definitely.
You ever seen these drawing gloves before?
Yeah.
For a 2-finger, I tell you what, man, these are the best thing if you're drawing, because you ain't got to worry about any of that. Nothing catches your hands. You don't got to worry about sweat. None of that. So it's a good thing to have. But yeah, no, the corners, honestly, just because I'm so used to tying them all down, I don't have any issues with the corners. Yeah, I haven't had any issues with corners. Well, okay, take that back. I had one issue, but it wasn't even my fault. I sent this out. I had I don't know if you all seen my horror set. It has the Michael Myers. It's got the it's got Carnage on it, and it's got Venom. You've seen it, Steve.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I gave you the mini prints of those.
Yeah, I got the mini print still. I got my mini print somewhere. They're back here somewhere.
What happened?
If not, well, anyways, so I sent it to my client. Miscommunication, whatnot. It went to his house instead of CGC for some reason, because I sent them there. And on the way back, coming back to my house, UPS had completely destroyed the corner of what was it? The Carnage Krueger. That's what it was. It was a mix between Freddy Krueger and Absolute Carnage.
Right.
So that corner was the top right was completely just crushed. And this guy had bought all three as a set, and it was going to CGC to get. And this guy collects a lot of work. So I'm like devastated, because I put my heart and soul into these three, because it was still kind of in the beginning when I was doing that set, and I was like, there's no way. I was like, this has got to come back in 9.8, no questions asked. So I did not have a press. I did not know anyone at the time with a press. So my next fix was basically getting a bunch of backing boards and a 3-pound hammer.
No.
Yep.
Get out of here, dude.
I took that bad boy to the garage, and I gave it the good old 20 minutes of just banging, changing out boards, so I'm not leaving any rings on the paperwork or anything.
That's crazy.
That book came back at 9.8.
Get the hell out
Damn,
of
that's
here, bro.
awesome. That's a hell of work.
Nuts, dude.
And I'll never do it again. But again, it wasn't like it was my fault. It came back from UPS UPS that way. So I was able to fix it. So now I know if something ever does go wrong on my side, I could always fix it with a 3-pound hammer and some backing boards.
That's crazy.
Aside from that, I haven't had any issues with corners or anything.
It doesn't happen again. So it's okay to press your artwork. Is that
Yeah.
what you mean?
You can press it, but I mean CGC didn't know that I'm sitting there sledging away at this thing with a hammer either. Like I left it, you know, you can't just hammer one corner, you gotta hammer around, you gotta make a whole circle so it all kind of evens out.
That just sounds crazy, right? I don't know how the hell you got a 9.8.
You should have videoed that.
I said,
I was scared. I was literally scared because you've seen that print.
Yeah.
And the piece itself is so much better than the print because I actually illustrate that piece. What you have is an actual illustration of the actual art piece. It's not a straight photograph. So if you look at the photograph or the actual piece, there's just detail upon detail on that piece. And it's like, for me to recreate that, to make it look what he already paid me for I wasn't doing it.
guys, we got 8 people right now watching. We're gonna do I think we're gonna do the giveaway right now.
Let's do it.
All right. So you want to show real quick what we're gonna be raffling off?
Hey, if there's 8 people, have everyone pick a different number, 1 to 8.
Well, they don't know what number they're picking, bro. We're gonna say the rules now. You can't tell them. You can't tell them what number to
Okay,
pick.
what are we going to 20?
We're gonna go to 20, but we're gonna do it in a second. Let's show the art prints that are gonna be given away.
So we got this one right here. And they're going to come signed too, by the way. So
Oh man,
That's beautiful, man.
this one,
Freaking badass.
that's my favorite. I believe. I love that.
I bet you geeks and drinks would love that one. Badass.
I like that one a lot too, man.
Badass. So we're gonna do a raffle, not a raffle. We're gonna be picking numbers soon in a minute. What's up, Big O?
Oh, Big O's in the house. He's from around us too.
Yeah,
He lives in Brandon. He's from Brandon.
Yeah, he's my number 1 pick when we play basketball. Steve, remember that?
I already called Big O. He's a center, man. I need a center.
No,
man.
he's on my team. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Yeah, we did a little bit of comic book talk. Football talk at the moment. We're talking to artist Joe Doyle.
Dope ass.
He's in Tampa. And all right, so we're gonna do a raffle. This is Steve's. All right, this is how we're gonna do it. Let's do 1 through 20. I'm gonna drop a line. You gotta pick a number between 1 through 20 only. Okay, Steve, this is your pick once.
Yeah, how many's in the chat right now? Do
We got 7.
7's in the chat right now.
All right,
So
I'm gonna
pick a
drop
number
party
1 through
line
20, and if we don't get a winner, then we'll do it again. We'll do it
until we get it. Okay, but you could only give one number.
one number. If that
Right
number's
now.
picked, you can't pick it again.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, so we're gonna go we already got the number. We already talked about it backstage, so the number's set. So, Steve, you want to tell them the number?
I'll tell them when they. I'm going to tell them the number when they get it. I'm saying I can't see the start line.
All right, guys.
I was waiting for it to come out.
I'm gonna drop the line, guys. So when you only vote once, all right?
1 through 20.
All right,
baby, you're in here. Don't put a number down. I got plenty of these prints. I'll give you one.
All right, let's see. Okay, now nobody's putting a number. Oh, okay, there they come. All right, if that's it, I'm gonna give it a second. If anybody else is,
the wife won't play.
I won't play. All right. Okay. We only got 3 combatants so far, so we're gonna go again. Give me 1 second. If anybody else wants to jump in right now, you can. We got 8 in the chat. All right. Only 3 combatants: MC Cover, Sack B, and Big O. Anybody else wants to jump in? Those numbers were not it. All right, we're gonna jump. We're gonna go again.
Round 2.
Round 2. Damn, the same three combatants. And look at how their numbers changed. They're all
But they're all right next to each
right
other.
next to each other, right? Both times.
I
Both
can't see the
surprising,
chat, man, because I'm on my
right?
phone.
Bro, both times they were all of them were picking right in the same area. All right, we're gonna go again, guys. There goes the new starting line.
No, that's a spread.
Yeah, now we got. Let's go, Big O. Oh, we're gonna go again.
They still haven't got it. And this number was picked by Joe.
Give me 1 second. All right, we're gonna go again. All right, guys. No, it hasn't been picked yet.
They're lucky that they get to battle it out for these. I wish I was in the chat. I'll do a biggie.
Right, you can jump off.
I'll do a biggie, and I'll mess the number up and lose.
Bing, bing, bing. We got a winner, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
Who got it?
Big O.
Big O got it. 4. Yep.
Big O got it.
Big O came in right on time to see football talk and seen dope ass symbiote Prince and won him. Damn,
Nice.
He's having a good night.
Dude, that was cool, man. It went longer than I expected.
That's awesome.
Pretty badass.
He said he's local, right?
Yeah, he's in Brandon, man. So yeah,
No shipping.
yeah.
Perfect. It works out for everyone.
For sure.
Hey, Big O, please follow Joe. It's Doyle Comic Art and Commissions, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Doyle Comic Art on IG. You could get in touch with Joe. Okay, guys?
Right here.
Yeah. All right, man. We're past the hour. We did great, man, because we got
already.
Yeah,
Wow.
man, we had a good talk. We learned a lot, and
everybody
goes fast, right, Joe? Checking out your art, and we'll get you hooked up with. We'll get him hooked up with Rod next, and get him more exposure.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you want some prints, man, just message me. I got a bunch of other prints too. So if you see any work that I have on my page, I typically have photographs of any of them, so I can make them in the prints. So if you see something you like that you didn't see here or whatnot, just hit me up.
Awesome, Joe.
Awesome, man.
Man, thank you everyone for showing up. Joe, man, this was fun.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I didn't even get through all my questions, man.
Well, go for it, man.
We still got time, man. Go ahead.
Okay. Joe, what is your Grail comic that you're trying to get? It's the book that's expensive, probably. You're like, man, I really want this, but man, it's expensive. Maybe I'll save up one day and get it. Is there a book that you're like, I really want that book one day?
Well, so I've always had a wooden plaque of one of those like just decor wall plaques of ASM 122, the Death of Gwen Stacy.
The goblin on it,
yeah. So I grew up watching the 90s animated, like most of us probably did. So I've always had a thing, Goblin was always on it. Green Goblin was always because Osborne, and I just loved the cover. That was really cool. Just throwing the pumpkin bombs and stuff. I finally got a solid cover. Never been pressed. It was a 4.0. Got a good price on it. It's just one of those that I just always loved. I've always had on my wall. So I'm like, I need the actual thing. So it's actually right now at CGC. I was able to get Ramita Sr. to sign it.
Nice.
And Conway's on it too. So I'm going to have a double sig on that book. So that's.
Where did you get Ramita Sr. signature at?
Desert Comics.
Where's that?
It's out in Nevada. I think Las Vegas. But they do a lot of signings. They send them to the artist's home. So so they have a long list of very, very high profile artists and writers and whatnot. So
let me know if they have Jack Kirby.
Hey, real quick, FC Covers is asking. I'm in the Land O'Lakes. Where you?
Yeah, Land O'Lakes is
No, it's like an hour, not even.
Yeah, it's not even an hour.
You guys are where? Tampa.
Joe's in Riverview and I'm in Temple Terrace. So, but
yeah, we're not far at all. Not far at all.
Dude, so that's why I was asking, because I don't remember seeing Romita Senior anywhere.
No, and a lot of people haven't looked, but if anyone's watching and looking for a Romita signature, I would say Desert Comics. They work with him a lot. They have a partnership, so all CGC, facilitated as well. So, and this is during the whole COVID thing too. So they sent the books to him, and I guess I don't know what they.
How do they
I don't know if they
Yeah.
sprayed the books down. I hope they didn't, because I'm getting, they just got pressed and everything. So we'll see, but they, They got him, and it was really super easy to work with. They're really good over there at Desert Comics. So
Shit, look at Big He teaches at East Bay.
Big O teaches at East Bay. That's right down the road from him, man.
yeah, for sure. Comic Spot's my spot. So if you're ever in the area, I know Steve goes up there every once in a while because that's where you work, right, Steve?
Yeah, I work over there by Tico, so I'll be there tomorrow, actually.
Okay.
Tomorrow's actually DC's comic book day, or is it Marvel's?
DC
now.
DC.
Hey, dude, not for nothing. I thought John Romita Sr. was dead.
Well, I thought so too, because I never saw him on anything else, and then I looked it up, and I was like, this is an opportunity right here. I mean, I would have loved to have gotten the ASM 50, but that book is pricey.
I wonder who's got one.
Say what?
I wonder who just got one.
I wonder who just got one.
I wonder.
Well,
you better be calling up Desert Comics.
Dude, that's great. How did you find out about them?
I literally just typed in Romita Senior CGC on Google and just found out that they had a signing literally a month after I got the book.
That's crazy.
Damn you, man! Things work out for you, man.
That's awesome.
And then they called me and said, "Hey, we could send it to CGC, or for an extra $35, do you want Conway's signature on there? Because we're facilitating him next month." And I'm keep the book and get it signed. I don't care. So
hey, I don't mean, how much was it, Romita's by chance?
Oh, 55.
That's not crazy.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
But you got to remember too, Desert Comics got to make their money. So at the end of the day,
yeah, but just think about it, Raul. He don't have to pay to get in a con either, or anything to get it.
No.
You know what I mean? Because you'd have to pay to get in a con if he was in one.
55 total? I mean,
so it's 55 for that, and then for the handling, I think it was like another 25. So at the end of the day, without the cost of the book and both of those signatures on there, which are the only two people that basically touched that book,
right.
I want to say I'm at, I don't know, about 130.
That's not, because you wouldn't get those signatures any other way.
Yeah, you ain't. How you gonna get them?
No.
It's
not this year.
You sure ain't getting them this year.
It's not just
this would be in the future.
It's not just now, but I don't think Romita does cons, or if he does, it's very limited.
He goes to private signings with his son, JR, and but I mean that's even then a lot of his signings with his son they do at his house.
Wow.
Up in New York, I think it's New York or Connecticut, wherever they live nearby, but. Yeah, no, he doesn't really travel that much. So for me to have that book, I would say is probably a Grail. I wouldn't say that's the number one Grail for me, but I already got the original or the first Secret Wars number 8, signed by Zach and Betty or Beatty. So I mean that one was already a Grail because I love the symbiotes. I mean.
You could get Marvel Team at 141. You could get 252 ASM if you wanted.
Right, but I just for a list that I have, there isn't something where I'm like, oh, I got to get that. Like I feel like for right now, a lot of the moderns, just because I'm still kind of new at the whole comic world, I'm sure there's going to be somewhere it's
Yeah, there's a Del Otto. It's a Spider-Man, and it's freaking like a $2,000 book or $10,000 book now. He's upside down on a beam. I can't remember what number
you're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. On the bottom of a gargoyle?
Yeah, he's like on the bottom of, and he's crawling like that. Man, that thing's through the roof. $10,000, I believe. It's $10,000.
I mean, not for nothing. I know it's not $10,000, but look what Clayton Crane's number 7 did from Frankie's Comics.
Man, Clayton Crane, I love that signature he does with all the different colors. How he does that.
Oh yeah.
His multicolored signature is pretty cool.
Yeah.
What
No,
do you think about Greg Horn? We met Greg Horn. He was super nice, man.
I want to meet him. I heard he's super, super cool guy.
When the cons come back, man, we all go together, man.
Yeah.
So
you're
always invited.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I know I was supposed to actually be at the table with the Comic Spot at their table.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing a couple giveaways of some of my slabs, but because of unforeseen circumstances, that didn't happen.
I was going to ask that. You haven't done that yet, right? Like had a table at a con or anything?
No, not yet. Not yet. I got my first real look at, I wouldn't even say real look, but my first in January when I went to meet Stegman and Alex in Orlando. That was the show where I could see myself at behind the other side of the table and actually talking to people and being one of the artists there. And I mean, I literally was envisioning myself being there, and I couldn't want anything more. I think it would be so cool. So cool.
That would be hell yeah.
You were there to get signatures, but you were envisioning a whole different thing when you were watching that from a whole different.
When you go, you're looking down at an artist, the artist I was talking to, usually they stand up, but a lot of them sit down there because you got to realize a lot of artists are introverts.
Yes.
They sit there and they put their head down and they're drawing, and like even in the outside world in their own, they're all introverts. Not all, but most of them are introverts. Very like Clayton Crane. A lot of people are like, "Oh, he's so weird. He's so weird." But then you look at his videos and you listen to him talk, where it's literally just him. He's a complete introvert.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure once you get into his mind and start talking to him, he opens up. But like, he's an introvert. I
think Nico Suyan's the same way. He's like,
I met Michael.
And for someone who gets, and you got to realize as a fan, when you meet these guys, where it's like, "Oh, dude, I love your art. I collect all your covers and blah blah blah." Like. And you're an introvert and someone comes up to you and blows up in your face with all that excitement and energy, and you're just like, shit, this guy came here to pay me money, which is great, but I'm here literally to sign his book, and that's it. Like, you're not expecting to have a whole full-blown conversation, like, heavy excitement. Now, you got the guys like JR, where, he'll grab your book. He doesn't care what he's all like, yeah, well, he's excited too, like he's super pumped. So the excitement's there, but it's like, but you don't get a lot of guys like that, artists are weird, but then, it's like when you go to school, all the artists all the kids in school within the College of Arts, a bunch of weirdos, right?
Yeah, not really weirdos, but just they're not outgoing. They're
not outgoing because they're used to sitting home drawing and doing their thing by themselves, and then and when they blow up, if they blow up, it's a whole different world. They're not used to it. They're just not. Johnny Depp is another one. I mean, he's an actor, but it's the same thing. He's a weirdo, but look what he can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't look at that in consideration, but it's like. When I was there and I'm imagining being behind that table and people talking to me, like I'm going to be that guy that's like, hey, this is what I do. I love doing what I do. I appreciate you coming to my table and taking the time to talk to me and look at my art. Like
that's how Greg Horn was. Man, Greg Horn photobombed our picture from the back.
We were taking a group picture. Like he was up on a chair or something, right? Trying to
like way in the back of his booth, you could see him. He's back there photobombing, man. I was like, man, that dude's awesome, man.
That's cool, and you want to, and that's the kind of people you want to interact with. So I told myself, like, if this is going to happen, I got to be one of those guys that I want to be the guy that people are able to approach and not feel like, oh, Joe, like, can I get a signature on this? I was like, no, dude, come on
Joe
down.
Doyle, he's not too friendly. You don't want to be that guy.
No, I don't want to be that guy. No.
I met Michael Golden, and I was like, dude, am I interrupting? Am I about? There was nobody around him, and I felt like I was intruding on him. And he looked up at me, and this is at a con, and he looked up at me like if I had three heads. What the hell are you talking to me for? And I was like, dude, I love your work. I love this. I love that. Can I get a print? But it was like so weird. It was so weird.
Well, meeting Neil Adams is like meeting him. I look at him and I'm just like legend. Right off the bat, I'm like starstruck for more than a second. But I'm like sitting there looking. I was like, oh shit! Like I'm about to go up and go meet this guy. This is at Tampa Bay Comic Con a few years back when he was here, and once I sat down and I got a funny quick story about that, but I sat down with him. He all of a sudden just started just going off, just talking. I'm like, all right, this guy's cool. I felt right there, super comfortable. Because, you know, I'm loud. I like to have fun. You know, I like to talk, whatever. And so we get in a conversation, you know, and I'm nervous. I got my book. I got one of the few Avengers books that he's ever done, because, you know, he mostly did DC.
Right.
It was the one with Vision crushing, I forget who it was on the cover, but
it's 92, 93. It's one of those right before 100.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty forward kind of books.
Yeah. So I got that one for him to sign in. So I'm pulling it out, and you know, the back is black. So if you ever had tape stick to a black cover on a comic book, usually that black comes right off.
Right.
You know. So I'm pulling the book out, and, you know, I'm excited. He's excited. He's ready to sign. You know, we're having a good time, and the tape gets stuck to the back cover.
No, it's like my worst nightmare.
So literally, I'm wearing a gray shirt, and, you know, when you sweat, you know, you see it literally between my chest and under my armpits. I was already sweating, but it wasn't showing in the shirt yet. I instantly started like sweating, and you know what he says? He goes, "Well, that's not looking too good." And I'm like, so, and, you know, that's something Neil would say, you know, like, he doesn't care. Like, he's that guy. He's just going to call it like he sees it. So I'm just like, shit. I'm like, all right. So I'm sitting there pulling it. You got his handler, his man. You got everyone sitting there staring at me pulling this off. My sweaty palms. I'm surprised I didn't drip on the freaking book. I was able to peel that sucker off so slightly. Nothing came off, luckily. But I mean, you talk about pressure under the gun right there.
Yeah,
you know,
man, you
hear everyone walking around, people in line waiting to get Neil. They're all watching this. Like, dude, it was just like, it was bad. It was so bad.
Did you switch to painter's
tape? Was it Scotch tape, Joe?
Did you switch the paint to the blue tape?
No. So when I bought the book, I never, because this is when, in the beginning, when I started actually buying
so it was
books.
Scotch tape.
It was Scotch tape.
Oh,
yeah.
The dreaded Scotch tape.
So it's Scotch tape. So, you know, it's one of those. No, it wasn't even that, man. It wasn't.
No, you gotta use the blue tape.
The blue painter's tape, boy.
Oh, that's all. Yeah, that's all I got now. But when I bought the book from eBay,
I know what you mean.
I didn't know. So now I buy my bags directly from Comic Spot, because those are the ones, the resealable ones that the sticky is on the outside of the bag.
Yeah.
So I don't have that problem anymore. But yeah, so anyways, so that's. Anyways, yeah, it was a horrific scene, but I left out of there so happy.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's
bro.
Awesome story.
We've all been there. I know someone that happened to, and it was a really bad experience.
Yeah, me too. I know a couple guys, man.
Yeah, that happened to me a few times. But hey, so Doyle, where can we find you, man?
So right now I'm on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
Doyle Comic Art. I got that. Pretty soon I'll be coming up with a website. I mean, it's in the works right now. DoyleComicArt.com. I was able to snag that. Oh, actually, no. For the website, I'm not using that. I'm using. I forgot already. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. It'll be on my Instagram whenever I get it up there. But
awesome.
For right now, I'm only on Instagram and Facebook.
Awesome, dude. So, guys, please, on the rewind, you're watching this. Please check out Joe Doyle Art, Doyle Comic Art. Amazing work. Steve, you got anything going on? We'll be back next week. What's going on?
Yeah, man, we'll be back next week, but I'm gonna try to get Joe on with Rod. And there's some other guys that got like inquiring minds. He might end up on there one day.
Comic Books NYC. He does an art show.
Yeah. We'll get with
Yeah.
Kavi and take the time, Brian.
And
you know, guys, man, you're really gonna like a lot of these guys, Joe.
They're real YouTube channels. This is kind of like breaking you in. This is like, you know.
Yeah, this is like the lowest tier you'll come in at, and then
this is the minor leagues. You know, those guys are, you know, they're advanced.
You gotta start somewhere, right?
Yeah, man, you gotta start somewhere. Maybe one day.
Yeah, man.
But anyway, dude, hey, man, it was a pleasure having you.
Hey, no, thank you, both of y'all. Steve, thank you for the introduction.
Yeah, man.
Raul, thank you for having me on board.
Awesome.
This is, I mean, it's where it all begins, right, guys?
Yeah,
it's where it begins, man. You're gonna be like, you know where I began. You're gonna be signing books one day. You know where I began, and then me and him are gonna come in on wheelchairs.
Yeah.
We had
All right, guys, Joe. I know him.
You know what? I'll sign the wheelchair. How's that?
There you go.
Yeah,
There
man,
you go.
sign that wheelchair.
You have to venomize it. We're gonna have the venomized.
We'll have you.
I get the black
venomize us.
spray paint. We'll do it. We'll do one of those live art things in my booth or something. I don't know.
Exactly. You're a performance artist. You're gonna be a performance artist for us.
There you go.
All
There
right,
you go.
guys.
All right.
Everybody that came tonight, man. Thank you so much for the support. Everyone on the replay, thank you. Oh man, what's up, Vancouver? Awesome, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. And we'll see you next week. The Johnson Show comes back next Monday at 7.
Next Monday at 7. Man.
And we'll see talking about that day. Maybe football and who knows what else we're going to talk about. But thank you, everyone, for watching. And you know what? I could actually say this, and we're so loud from the Sunshine State, everybody.
Sunshine State. Everybody's from here.
Go Raiders!
Hey, guys, one last thing.
Go ahead.
Are we riding out?
Oh, yeah, we got the music. Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun. He had it on